everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Setre, and I'm excited to have a guest on the channel today. Her name is Juliet. She's based in New Zealand. And as we all know, we want to migrate abroad. And most people decide on UK, forgetting that there are other places in the world that they can migrate to as well. So I've got Juliet, who is going to talk to us about how to migrate to New Zealand. So I'll let Juliet introduce herself.
Okay, thank you for having me. As she already said, I'm simply Juliet, and I'm based here in New Zealand with my family, and I've been here a little over a half decade. That's 5 years plus.
Okay.
And I also blog about life here in New Zealand, what living, working, studying here in New Zealand is all about. And that the link to my channel will be on the comment section of this video. So
okay, good.
That's just all about me.
Yeah, so you've been living there for over 5 years, you said?
Yeah, 5 years plus.
Okay, so where did you originally come from before moving to New Zealand?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. And what's your background, if I may ask?
Yeah, I'm a Nigerian trained pharmacist.
Okay. And working in New Zealand as a pharmacist as well?
Not yet.
No, not yet. You're still in the process.
I'm still getting there.
Okay, I'm sure you'll be there very soon.
Yeah.
So I know you've done a video on how the process of becoming a nurse in New Zealand. So if there is an overseas nurse, let's say in Ghana, Nigeria, or any part of the world planning to relocate to New Zealand, what is the process?
Okay, so to get you guys started, there are 3 processes in a whole. Okay. But before you jump into the process, there are about 7 documents that is required of you to get ready to get you started. So I will start listing the 7 documents. Then when I'm done with that, we'll now visit the 3 processes that you need to get your licensure here in New Zealand. And my advice is that you get this 7 documents ready before you start doing the process, because there is a time frame to it, if you get what I mean. Yeah. So the very first document that is required of you is something to show your identity, like where you are from. You could use your passport or any other identity that is accepted here in New Zealand, but people usually use passport. Yeah, and before I proceed to the second document that is required of you, if you know that there is discrepancy between your passport and your academic documents, like maybe you were answering your maiden name before you got married and a whole lot of that, if you have had a change of name, you should have a supporting document to prove that you are the same person who owns this certificate and the whatever you're using as your identity. So the second stuff you'll be needing is a proof of English language. That's if you did not study in any of the countries that they see as a core English-speaking country. And before we finish this blog, when we get to the area where we'll talk about people that get waiver on English language, I will mention the countries that that could get a waiver if you studied there. So you need to provide OET or IELTS. So that's the 2 that is very popular here, and the band score that is required for OET is at least a B in each of the components: reading, writing, listening. And for IELTS, you need at least band 7 each of the components again. And for IELTS, they can allow 2 sittings. but that should be within a year. Yeah, and yeah, you should have an average of 7 in each, but below 7 in each of the components, but in the two as a whole, you should have 7 in 4 of them. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes.
So, okay. So the third document that is required of you is current registration. Prior to your seeking for to be licensed here, you should be registered somewhere. Either in your home country where you were trained as a nurse, or other country or countries where you have practiced. There should be a registration going on somewhere, an up-to-date one, yeah. And you should be able to provide something called letter of good standing in the places you have practiced, countries or your home country, to support that. And the fourth document that is required of you is your nursing qualification. That's your nursing certificate. And for that to be accepted, it should be equivalent to New Zealand nursing qualification. And if you want to get that assessed, there is a body here in New Zealand called NZQA that oversees qualifications to ascertain the equivalency to New Zealand 1. And we should be dropping that link in the comment section, so that those of you that want to get your qualification assessed, to know the equivalent, I think it should be equivalent to level 7 in New Zealand here for it to be accepted. So that's it for document number 4. So document number 5, you should have post-registration experience. I'm sorry to say, in New Zealand Nursing Council website, there is a clause to it that if you have not got this number of hours of experience, that they are sorry, you are not eligible. So the comment to New Zealand Nursing Council board, the link will be below for you to have a second read and go through the information again. So if you do not have up to 2,500 hours of work spread across 5 years, yeah, you are likely not eligible, but you can write emails and work around it and ask. But that is what is stated on New Zealand Nursing Council website. So that takes us to the is it the 6th document that is required, and that would be your fitness to practice. You know, as you guys know, being a nurse and the whole nursing thing is something that they do check on, because people's life are going to be in your hands. So they will do a sort of criminal check to just double check who you said you are. So a document to support that, of which your consent will be obtained. Prior to that will be done on countries or your home country, the places where you have been, and that depends on the number of years you have lived in each of these countries. So the last document that will be required of you, or the last stuff that will be required of you, is CAP, which is known as Competency Assessment of Practice. So it's actually an exam you need to sit for if everything goes well. So that is the 4th document that is required of you. And if you come out successful in that exam, you're already on your way to practicing here in New Zealand. So let's now talk about the 3 steps after getting this document ready. Actually, the last one, the 7th one, is not a document, but is among the things that is required of you. So the very first step you need to do is to apply to CGFNS. CGFNS that you are interested in pursuing a nursing career here in New Zealand, that you're a registered nurse somewhere, and that you keep that information open. And the second step is that the body will not request this through the nursing council, and the feedback usually happens within 3 working days. Okay. And they will get back to you in your email to say, okay, you are eligible, provide all the documents that we discussed earlier on. Mm-hmm. So by that time, you should have been ready and much able to meet up with the time frame. So you supply this document to this body, and then if New Zealand Nursing Council is okay with the information and everything they've received, they will say, okay, you are eligible to now apply. And before I go further, I said something earlier on where I will be talking about countries that can get waiver with this English language. I said they are the core English-speaking country like US, UK. If you graduated in US, UK, Ireland, Singapore, Canada, yeah, that's just all about it. About these 5 or 6 countries, they are usually the ones that get waiver, okay. English language waiver. But if you have practiced in UK for long and you did not get your qualification in these countries I named, you never just say never like that. Mm-hmm. You can try, put a letter through to see if you could get that waiver. But what I know is they usually consider people that studied in these countries as the core English-speaking country. Mm-hmm. They will provide supporting documents like their transcripts being in English and a whole lot of that to support it. But you can push on to say, I have worked in this said English-speaking country, and see if you can receive such waiver. But I don't know of anyone who have got such waiver. So, and this is the last process. If you now get your CAP, if you sit for it, and there are, before I forget, there are designated institutions that offer it. So if you sit for it and you pass, then you are ready to come over here and start your QE dream as a nurse. Okay. And that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so did you say CAP? Did you say, do they write it in other countries? Are they computer based, or do they have to go to a center to write it?
As far as I know, there are a few institutions here, and if your fans are keen about it, I could look for the link for it to be under this video. There are institutions that offer it. I think it's more like a model programs that they just enroll, and just a kind of refresher of what is expected of a nurse here. Yeah.
Okay. I think in the UK as well, we do a similar thing, but there are about 2 different tests that people will have to write. They do CBT, is a computer-based test. They do that in their home country. And if they are successful with that, then they can come and do the final test, which is a test of competence. They call it OSCE. So it's more of practical thing. They do that here. So with New Zealand, it is 1 test they have to do, which is the CAP.
I think it's practical based, and hands-on as well. I think
Great. Thank you for that. So what is the average starting salary of a nurse in New Zealand? Do you know?
I think currently is about 37 70 cents per hour. And as you guys know, every year living wage keep going up, and
that's right.
That keep going up, and that would be around 60,000 or 60,900 New Zealand dollars per annum for starters. And,
that's not bad. That's better than UK actually. It's
Let's
true.
hang on. Because of
UK.
standard of living here might not be as same as UK.
I was going to ask
Yeah.
about living cost of living in New Zealand. Is it expensive to stay at?
Yeah, just my husband has lived in the UK, so I'm gonna
Okay.
put him here.
Okay,
So
good.
just as expected, if you look
Yes.
in the map,
Yeah.
New Zealand is at the end of the world.
Yeah. It's
You can
far
see where
away.
we are in the map.
Yeah.
And that's how things that are not produced here, that's the much distance they travel to get to us.
Yeah.
So just as you would be expecting, life is pretty expensive here.
What about accommodation?
Yeah, accommodation is expensive. I've done a video in my blog talking about that. So in the second largest city that I've lived in, which is Christchurch, currently for you to get like not a top 3-bedroom flat like the last one I lived in before moving to this countryside, we are paying about $450 weekly.
$450
weekly.
a week. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I learned as we left, the house rent increased.
Okay.
So yeah, so I would say I don't know what it is in the UK currently, but if you get your accommodation sorted out, you might not really struggle, but currently it is a big deal thinking about accommodation, if you're not able to flat, if you've got a large family, because that would take a huge chunk
of your salary.
Yeah.
What about childcare?
Childcare, kindergarten, you can get 20 hours free.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're going to a public, if your child will be going to a public primary school, then you're all good. It's all covered. Yeah.
Okay. And healthcare?
Healthcare, I think under 14 years, yeah, you're all covered as well.
Okay. But over 14, you have to pay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, or you do insurance.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
UK is
but it's pretty subsidized for even adults as well. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that
everything
bad.
under 14 is
it's free.
You're just good to go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, so what would be your advice for an international nurse who is thinking of relocating and they're not too sure where to go? I know most people find that it's a bit easy to come to UK, so most people prefer coming to UK. Others find going to the US and Canada a bit difficult. So if someone wants to consider New Zealand, what would be your advice to that person?
I would say it depends on preference, but it's green here too. Yeah. It's green here too. You just have to weigh what you like and what you don't like. Yeah. We like it here because it's quieter. Yeah. Good for family. This is my own personal view. Another might disagree, but just like I said, you need to weigh the living expenses and a whole lot of that, before you come. It's also green here, if that sounds like it for you. Yeah.
It's just far away from home. How many hours would it take you to Nigeria if you're going on holiday?
I'm not even thinking about that now. When I look at the flight fare, it's not a good time to travel. But when I came here, it was, they are a day ahead of Nigeria. So I think cumulatively, the whole hour I traveled on air, in as much as I met a new day here or 2 days ahead here. So it should be more than 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty far.
Yeah. Actually, to saying that, I was thinking of going home to Ghana recently, and I wanted a cheaper flight. I didn't get, that's why I'm in Spain now. And I realized that some of the flights would take you to like Dubai and different places. So by the time you get home, it's 16 to 20 hours. So it would be similar to traveling from New Zealand to Nigeria. Anyway, so if anyone wants to contact you, what is your channel name so that they can make contact with you as well to know more about the local information in New Zealand?
Okay. My channel name is simply Juliet Chinelo, and I believe we'll be leaving the link on the comment section so that if you want to come and have a look to see if you like it, and that's it.
That's great. Thank you very much, Juliet. What I would like you to do is possibly, if you can send me the links to some of these things in my email, then I can copy them and add to the description of the video so that people can contact you for further questions.
Okay, no worries.
Thanks for taking time out of your early morning in New Zealand. It's my midnight here in Spain, but it's lovely to have you on my channel. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for hosting me too.
No worries. Please feel free to, comment on or visit Juliet's channel so that if you have any questions, she'll be able to answer you directly regarding New Zealand. Thank you and have a good day, Juliet.
Same here. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye. Bye. I'll go to bed now. Bye. Thank you.
Okay.